Welcome to Cat and Jess Talk the Best, where we're going to be talking about IMDb's top 250 movies from April 12th, 2018. My name is Kat.
And I'm Jess.
And today we're talking about number 229, The Terminator, which is an action sci-fi film from 1984. This film has an 8.0 on 699,930 votes.
Nice amount of votes.
It is. It's over 500,000.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So, the spoiler-free synopsis. Disguised as a human, a cyborg assassin known as a Terminator travels from 2029 to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor. Sent to protect Sarah is Kyle Reese, who divulges the coming of Skynet, an artificial intelligence system that will spark a nuclear holocaust. Sarah is targeted because Skynet knows that her unborn son will lead to the fight against them. With the virtually unstoppable Terminator in hot pursuit, she and Kyle attempt to escape.
Yeah, that's a good synopsis there.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, so our director is James Cameron.
Yes, and he
James
has
Cameron.
done so much.
He's, of course, famous for the original Terminator, this film, Aliens,
Yes.
Titanic,
Uh-huh.
and Avatar.
Yeah. We're gonna another
Some
Avatar
big
too.
films.
Yeah.
So, our lead actors, of course, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Mr. Governor.
Linda Hamilton, and Michael Biehn.
Ben.
Something like that. Yeah, Ben.
I think it's Ben.
I think. It's
'Cause
weird.
It looks German. So, Rotten Tomatoes. The average rating is an 8.8. But 100% of reviewers, the critics, did like it. It all got 100% fresh ratings. So there's another one. I think it's our fourth. Yep, it is our fifth film that has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
It's our fifth one. It's quite a lot in the top. We're not even to the bottom 25 yet.
Nope.
Good. It has a 99 on Metacritic, is that right?
84 it says.
Oh, something else has a 99. Oh, the other one.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. But, so two of the fresh, Michael Blowen, forget that the premise is silly and the acting second rate because director James Cameron has the action formula down pat. Well, he does have the action formula down pat.
Yeah.
I don't think the premise is silly. But
No.
the acting...
Yeah.
Hank Gallo, you almost forget the film's flaws, like the cartoony look of the war-ravaged future. Here, the most absurd excursion is believable, and we go along willingly, stopping now and then for a breath or for a laugh.
Well, you gotta remember, this is made in the 80s.
Yeah,
so.
I think that one is, the Hank, I think his is from, like, what, a few years ago.
Okay.
Sometimes I remember what year they did this review, but then other times I don't.
It was like, you gotta give it some break, it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's not new technology like now.
No. And there's no Rotten, because it got all fresh reviews, so. The critics' consensus, with its impressive action sequences, taut economic direction, and relentlessly fast pace, is clear why The Terminator continues to be an influence on sci-fi and action films. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
So the budget for this film was $6.4 million. Domestic, it made $38,371,200. Internationally, it made $40 million. So total worldwide, $78,371,200 was its total. Definitely made more than it spent.
Oh, yeah.
It almost made its money back on opening weekend. Opening weekend, it made $4,020,663. And its all-time domestic rank is 2,131. The highest all-time rank is number 192. And it hit that on February 5th, 1985. So not long after it came out.
No, a couple months.
Yeah. And some awards. It did win 6 awards. None of them were Oscars. And I don't think any of them were Golden Globes either, no. So, Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films. It won Best Science Fiction Film, Best Writing, and Best Makeup.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Good job, Stan Winston.
And this was in 1985, so that's when it won. It definitely was good makeup for the time, but now it kind of looks funny, but it was good makeup for the time. It was really good makeup for the time. So.
It's like, you gotta give Stan Winston credit. I mean, awesome.
He did
He's
a good
awesome.
job.
He really is.
Because I've seen some other ones from the 80s that I'm like, this makeup sucks.
He's like, he is top notch when it comes to special effects. It does. He's up there.
Yeah, he's really good. Ivaraz, I think, Fantastic Film Festival. It is a grand prize winner, James Cameron. So either for the direction or the writing, because he did both.
Yes, he did.
It is preserved by the National Film Preservation Board. It is on that registry. Nice. And then this one I thought was really funny. The Yoga Awards. This won a special award for the worst trilogy.
Well, I wouldn't say the worst.
This award was in 2004.
Okay.
So, at that point, all 3 of them were out. Terminator 2, and Terminator 3 were out. So, I can see why it won worst trilogy, because I don't think Terminator 3 was very good. I didn't ever watch it. But
I have. I've watched all of them. And, yeah, I can see that. I was like, I'm trying to look up something,
there's
actually.
Some other stuff that weren't out. Like, all 3 of them weren't out quite yet.
I was like, I'm looking up
I don't think
something.
Star Wars was out.
I was trying to look that up.
Star Wars, I don't think the 3rd one was out in 2004.
I'm looking.
I think it came out in, like, 2006.
I'm looking.
It's Clone Wars, isn't it?
Clone Wars is the second one.
Yeah, Clone Wars came out.
2002, and then Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
If I can spell. 2005.
Yeah, so it wasn't out yet. Just barely.
Barely. You barely missed out, because those prequels, woo, for Star Wars, let's not talk about that.
I liked the first one.
It was okay.
But that's because I liked Darth Maul. So.
I mean, Darth Maul. But we won't get into Star Wars.
Alright, so your initial thoughts.
Gosh, when's the first time I watched this movie?
I'm just going to go from now because I don't remember the first time I watched it.
Yeah, I'll go with that too. It's got a very 80s vibe to it.
It does.
It's a pretty classic action film.
Yeah. I like that it actually has a story to it instead of just straight action.
Yeah, that's what I liked too, actually. Like, don't get me started on Bourne.
Yeah, Bourne.
Swear to God.
Bourne to us was just kind of straight action and not really much story. This one was a good balance between it, I think.
Plus, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, you can't go wrong with the governor.
I know. I mean, it's Arnold. He's awesome.
But yeah, I wrote down Arnold for the longest time in my notes until later.
Same.
Until I wrote down the actual character name. For Reese, I wrote down the guy.
I was like,
until they said his name.
Yeah, I was like, some dude. I remembered it, but they didn't say his name for
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, so I just wrote down the dude or the guy.
Some guy, some dude.
Yeah. I liked it.
I did too.
Makes me want to watch the other ones because I've seen Terminator 2 and I've seen Genesis, but I haven't seen. There's 2 other ones, I think.
I was like, yeah, you're missing a few.
But I haven't seen the other ones
because
there's the only 3 I've seen.
Terminator, Terminator 2, Terminator 3. There's, I think, Salvation.
Yeah,
Genesis.
Genesis is the newest one, and I've seen that one, but I liked it.
I did it,
but I like.
That's me.
I like Emilia Clarke, so.
Well, I mean, yeah,
she did a really good job.
She's good. I do like her acting, but I don't like the movie very much. But that's me. Original's always better.
But I feel like because I didn't I guess we can talk about this later.
Okay.
We probably won't talk about Terminator 2 because it is on the list. So, but we can.
Is it?
Yeah, Terminator 2 is on the list.
What number?
It's higher up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Terminator 2 is number 42.
42?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious. It's number 42.
How is it that high?
I don't know. I didn't put it up there.
That's ridiculous.
No, I rearranged the list to make it fit what I thought.
I was like, damn it, Kat.
Before I sent it to you.
This is why we can't have nice things.
No, I'm serious. That's where it was at.
I don't think it should be that high.
Well, we'll get to it when we get there.
I mean, I've seen all of them, so I can judge.
I'm not saying you can't.
I can judge Judgment Day.
That's funny. Alright, so I guess that's all we got for initial thoughts.
Yeah.
We kind of went on and off track. So.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Alright, that was your warning. If you haven't watched the film yet, then stop listening and come back after you've seen it. So, we kind of start off with, like, this war zone thing.
Yeah, like, I wrote down, like, robots, like, shooting.
I wrote down machine war.
Yeah, that works. That does. And then, like, there's, like, this, like, weird little war thing going on. Then it goes to, like, this, like, little paragraph. It's talking about, like, the machines rose.
Yeah.
I didn't write down the whole thing.
I didn't write it down at all.
I just wrote down the machines rose.
The machines.
Yes, I was like, oh, okay. A little bit of background there. Okay.
Yeah. And then it goes back to LA in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a trash truck. And then all of a sudden, shockies.
Yeah, like weird lightning
Blue
stuff.
lightning.
Yeah.
Like a kind of a bright blue.
Yeah, I can see that.
Then all of a sudden, got Naked Arnold.
Naked Man appears. I was like, ooh.
Remember that was in his big buff days.
Yeah, when he was
like,
a
when he
bodybuilder.
Was pretty buff, yeah.
I was like, nice. Nice.
Awesome. And then he's like walking and you see these 3 guys they're playing with. You know the viewfinder that you like when you go to monuments and stuff, you use it to look closer at things? They're playing with that.
Yeah, and one of them, I looked it up. I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that face. It's Bill Paxton.
What was he in? Because you were saying it and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Twister. Dana will know what I'm talking about.
I know the movie, I've just never seen it.
Oh, I can't think of his character, but he's been in a lot of movies. He actually just passed away
a
while ago, so that's why I was like, hey, I know you.
Gotcha.
It's a younger Bill Paxton, but he's in it. I was like, ooh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay. We'll move on.
Hey, I'm getting there with
You're getting there slowly.
I'm getting there with actors. It's just names are hard.
I know.
Names are really hard. So Arnold goes and fights these 3 guys because he wants their clothes. Because he's naked.
Naked.
And he rips out one of them's throat.
Yeah, and I was like, he's like punched through it. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Bloody already.
Yep.
And like, because they had pulled out switchblades too.
Yeah, they did. They were fighting them because he told them to give them their clothes, and they're like,
No.
Pull out my switchblade and attack you. So technically, it was self-defense.
Yeah.
Technically. But seeing as how he's the Terminator.
With, like, no mercy.
Yeah.
Kills, like, 2 of them.
It's self-defense with deadly force, which is punishable by jail time. I mean, he's a robot, so I don't think he really cares.
I was like, of course, I'm like, you really don't know he's a robot for a while, but, you know.
Really? The way he talks... And you can't tell he's a robot.
Well, if you don't freaking know anything about this movie, or you don't know anything about Terminator, like, at all, think of it like that. You're like, this is random dude talking.
Still would have felt like he is either an alien or robot.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Especially, like, the way he came in, I definitely would have thought he was an alien or a robot.
I was like, you just gotta think of it like simple. Think simple mind.
I mean, still, if I didn't know anything about this movie, had never seen any of them ever, and I was just watching it for the first time, I would think that he is either an alien or a robot because of the way he's talking and the way he came in.
Okay. I don't agree, but...
I mean, I watch a lot of movies like this, so...
I know! And I'm trying to be, like, give the people who don't watch this stuff a little voice. Give them a little voice.
Just a little one.
Just a little one.
So, then you see this homeless man, he's kind of just laying there. And the Shockies come again. The lightning.
Yeah.
And another naked guy shows up.
And I said naked, of course.
Yep, he is naked as well.
It's like, you figure it out. It's like, oh, they can't wear clothes when they time travel.
Yep. And then he takes the homeless guy's pants, and the cops show up as he's, like, pulling his pants on.
Yeah.
So that's incriminating. Either in the sense of Law & Order SVU incriminating, or in the sense of he just robbed someone incriminating. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I
you see a man pulling up his pants, like, what do you expect? I watch way too much SVU.
Yes, you do.
I watch way too much.
Or it's just a homeless guy putting on his pants. I don't know.
I mean, either way, he should be arrested. Any one of those three scenarios, he should be arrested. I don't think there's any scenario in which that man should not be arrested.
Yeah, he starts getting chased by the cops, and he grabs, like, one of them, he's asking, like, what the date is, what the year is.
Yeah, he's, like, asking what the day is, and then the cop tells him, and he's like, well, what year? Why didn't you just ask what year it was in the first place? Like, it doesn't matter what the day is.
Maybe it does.
Well, yeah, I guess it does, because he wants to make sure he got there on the same day as the Terminator, so.
Yeah.
Because he's not a Terminator, but we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
But that's why this is the spoiler section, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, he's going through this store, finds some clothes, he even, like, puts, like, shoes up to his foot just to measure, see if they're gonna work.
And these cops are not good.
No.
They are letting people they're letting this guy just, like, sneak around and...
Not the greatest cops,
No, they're not the greatest. And then he gets out and steals a shotgun from the cop car.
Yeah.
And then finds a phone booth, which, for those of you that are young, phone booth is a telephone inside of a box that has glass.
Yeah.
And there's a phone book, which has phone numbers and addresses, sometimes addresses, of people and places in town.
Yeah.
For youngins. I mean, there was only a few phone booths when I was little. Now they're pretty much all gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for, I think there's some in England still.
Yeah, I mean, you think of a phone booth in England, you think of Doctor Who.
Yes.
And the TARDIS.
Yes. Please call box.
Yep.
So he looks in the phone book and finds the name Sarah Connor, and there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then, next thing you know, you see Arnold. And he's stealing a car.
Yeah. Well, did we miss Sarah?
She was after him stealing the car. Then Sarah, you see her. She's the waitress.
Yes.
She's just getting to work. And you find out that her name is Sarah because she's like, the people say it. And then you find out her name is Sarah Connor when she gets her time card, and punches it in the time clock.
Yeah.
Which is the old-fashioned way of clocking in.
Some still do that, but it doesn't happen very often.
Very often.
No.
Most of the time it's computerized now.
Sure.
Mine uses a fingerprint.
Weird.
It is weird.
It goes to, I wrote down, Arnold's trying to get a gun.
Yeah, lots of guns.
Lots of guns, yeah. And he's like, oh, I'll take this one. He's like, this one. The gun owner's like, oh, I can close early.
He's like, I want all of them. And then he loads up the shotgun, and he's like, you're not supposed to do that. Then he just shoots him.
Just shoots the dude. I was like, okay. No mercy.
Yeah. So then Arnold goes to a phone booth. And he pulls this guy out. He's like talking on the phone. And
He just like pulls him out
and goes and looks up. He's after Sarah Connor too. So at this point, you don't know if the other naked guy is a bad guy or if Arnold is the bad guy. Well, I mean, at this point you do.
He kind of figured out.
Killed someone.
Killed a couple people already.
Yeah.
So I mean.
So at this point is when you figure out who's the bad guy, but.
Yeah, so he finds Sarah Connor, like, just, like, the first one on the list, and he, like, breaks down her door and shoots her.
Yeah. And, then they have it on the news, and they're watching it at the restaurant that Sarah Connor, that they're after, is working at, and her friend pulls her over, she's like, hey, come here, come look at this. And
it's like...
she gets all scared, because they just went after this person that has the same exact name as me. Like, what if they're just after me?
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Like, it's kind of reasonable. Like, if someone died that had the same name as me, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, same here.
What in the world? Like, that'd be kind of creepy. But I feel like I have a unique enough name that nobody would have the same name. I've met a couple people with the first name the same as me, but not both.
Yeah.
So... I've met 2 people with my first name. You have a very common first name.
Very common first name. Last name, no.
I know a few other... I don't, know them very well, but I know them.
Yeah.
But... Well, my last name is very common now, too, so...
Well, your married name is,
yes. Yeah. My maiden name is not common. So
no, it's not.
If I met anyone with that same name here in America, then... they're related to me.
Probably.
If I met them in Germany, they're probably not related to me.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah. So then, the other naked man, he has clothes now.
Yeah.
So I guess the other guy, he is like falling asleep in a car that he stole, and he's sitting next to a construction site in the car. And he's, like, dreaming about the future.
The future and
war zone.
Battle and, like, huge robots, yeah.
Yeah, and this is his future because you see... Or not his future, but technically his past. Because you see him running around in, like, an army uniform.
Yeah.
Well, not army, but... in that time, army is my guess.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Time. And then he wakes up... because something makes a big noise.
It's like a drill or something.
Yeah. And then it jumps back to Sarah.
In an apartment scene.
And her roommate are getting ready for a Friday night out.
Yeah, like, so me and Kat were starting to laugh at this. We're like, oh my god, this is such
80s hair.
Such 80s hair. Like, huge, huge hair. And the clothing is so obviously 80s.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
And the phone rings. And Sarah answers it, and this guy's, like, talking all dirty. And then Sarah's like, she says something. And then the guy goes, oh, can I talk to, what was her name, Ginger?
Yeah.
Can I talk to Ginger? So it was Ginger's boyfriend, and he just automatically assumed
it's her.
that it was her, even though she has a roommate.
That's kind of awkward.
Yeah. And so... Sarah's roommate, Ginger, and her boyfriend, Matt, are going to go out Friday night. And Sarah was going to go with her, but,
she got canceled on.
Yeah, she got canceled on. So she decided she's going to go to a movie.
Yeah.
And while she's out at dinner, she sees that there's another dead Sarah Connor. And she freaks out. Which, I mean, at this point...
I mean, it's not really a coincidence anymore.
No.
It's like, second one down, you're like, oh, gosh.
Like, how many more until they get to me?
Exactly.
So, she leaves the restaurant that she's at, and she's, like, walking, and she can tell that there's someone following her. And this is the other naked man that appeared.
Yeah.
Who has clothes now. I just feel like that needs to be stated that he's not naked anymore.
He's not naked. He's
not
got
naked
clothes,
anymore.
people.
And he also still has the gun that he stole from the cop car, too.
Yes.
So he is following Sarah, and Sarah goes into a club, and I thought the club's name was kind of funny.
Tech noir.
Tech noir, yeah. I was like, that's funny because some movies are called film noirs.
They are.
So, which actually, our next one is a film noir. It's under the classification, like
really?
the genre.
That makes
film
sense.
Noir.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, that does. I was wondering what to call it. Thank you.
Film noir is what it is. That's one of the genres that is classified under.
Sweet.
But then, so, she is in the club and she's on the phone trying to get a hold of the cops. And at this point, she is also has called her roommate at home saying, I need you to come pick me up. And while this is being played, Arnold is attacking the roommate and her roommate's boyfriend.
He just kills them.
Kills both of them. And then Sarah finally gets a hold of the cops. And she's like, don't transfer me and don't put me on hold. Like, I know that feeling. Anytime you talk to an internet company, that's the feeling you get.
It's like, oh, don't transfer me, please.
Please don't transfer me again.
So,
Arnold finds out that he didn't kill Sarah.
yeah, because he sees, like, her university, her student ID badge. After he finds her, he finds that it was what she looks like. And so he hears the recording that she, on the answering machine, that Sarah had left. So she even leaves the address, where she's at,
Yeah,
the phone number. I was like, oh, girl.
Which is kind of, like, at that point in time, you know someone is after people named Sarah Connor. Why would you do that?
I was like, that's not the smartest move. No.
So Arnold goes to the club that she's at.
Because she, conveniently gives the address and everything. I mean,
yeah.
why not?
And it's funny, he's in there and he's walking around and she just so happens to lean over and pick something up right when he's looking in her direction.
Yeah. And of course the other guy's in there too.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye out.
But we don't really see him until Arnold sees Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
And goes after her. And then Arnold's about to shoot her and, like, has the laser pointed at her forehead. Like, at that point, just shoot. Movie's over. But
I know. It's suspenseful.
It is suspenseful. And they did it on purpose, and I know why they did it, but I'm just like, sometimes in movies, the suspenseful moments, they just kind of break it for me. Because they don't do it, in my opinion, correctly. But
Too long.
yes, they just take a bit too much time in doing it. So, but I understand why, because they have to show him and they have to show her and they have to show the gun and
Yeah.
it takes time. So, but I get it.
I do agree with you. I do.
It just sometimes in films the suspense takes a bit too much time.
And you're like, oh, something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's like kind of predictable.
It is.
So as many movies as Cat and I've seen,
they do that.
Especially
in TV
you.
shows too. They do that in TV shows.
especially a lot of horror films do
Yeah.
that. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, horror films are the worst.
They are the worst.
I don't get scared by horror films. I laugh at them because of
Same.
how much suspense they put into it.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, let's see. The music stopped playing and it got really quiet. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
It's like, duh. But, yeah.
Yeah. But so, right before Arnold shoots her, naked guy, who's not naked anymore. I just don't know what else to call him at this point, because we technically don't know his name yet.
Not yet.
Just like I keep calling Arnold. Like it's,
I mean, we don't really know what he's called yet, so we're just calling him, yeah.
So, he steps in and shoots Arnold with a shotgun.
Yeah. And of course, this is a full, like, club with a bunch of people
full
on it.
nightclub, and they're all freaking out.
I mean, someone opens fire in a nightclub. That's kind of a bad thing.
If someone opens fire anywhere except for a shooting range, I feel like that's not a good thing.
Just saying.
I mean, you have to admit, I'm not wrong. Like, if I'm at the grocery store and someone opens fire, I'm gonna freak out. and book it the opposite direction of wherever I hear the gunshots coming from.
No, you're just gonna keep going about your business.
Oh, I might actually. It depends on how hungry I am.
She's like, I'm hungry. I gotta finish.
I gotta finish this grocery shopping and get home and make some food. Oh, what was that sound? Oh well, it doesn't matter.
Oh, making me laugh. I'm coughing here.
Sorry. That's the purpose, right? For us to have fun.
Well, yeah. It's like a big old gunfight in the club, and people get shot, and yeah.
Yep. And so then the other naked guy tells Sarah to come with her. And then you see Terminator vision.
Yeah.
And this is where you find out that he is the robot.
Yes.
Like, actually find out. Instead of my thinking, oh, he's definitely a robot or an alien. You find out he's a robot.
Like this weird red calculated stuff.
Yeah, it's got words all over the screen and numbers and stuff. And it's red. And so we find out that the other guy is named Reese.
Mm-hmm.
So we can stop calling him Naked Guy now.
Yeah,
his name is Reese.
Because his whole freaking chasing with cars and all this crap.
Yep.
And he's telling Sarah about, like, why she's being, like, she's being targeted.
So I was trying to read this. I wrote down Sarah's unborn son, but it looks like Sarah's unloom son. And I'm like, what is an unloom son?
Unloom.
Because sometimes I write too fast and it just gets all together.
Same.
So I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah, he's like telling her about, you know, the Terminator and how they from the future.
Yeah, and why the Terminator is after her. Because of her unborn son is going to be the one that helps to take down Terminators.
And there's a war and everything. And
yeah.
Her son's name is John Connor, which is important for the rest of the Terminator series.
Yes, John Connor is important for the rest of them.
Yes.
And so, in this chase, they cause the Terminator to wreck. And then the police catch them.
Yes.
And the police think that Reese is the one that has been trying to kill Sarah Connor and has killed the other two.
And
that
they think
he's crazy.
He's crazy.
Because he's trying to tell them about the future, and then that the Terminator is here to kill her, and you guys aren't safe. I need to get to her. Like, I need to protect her.
They just think he's crazy.
Just like, this man is insane. He's a psychopath.
So, okay, so they're in the police thing and everything, and then he goes to Arnold, and he's fixing himself. And I wrote down, this is really good. This is where Stan Winston and everybody in his company comes in.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this.
Especially, like, with his hand.
Yeah, you do have to remember that this is in the 80s. But still, it looks really good for having been in the 80s.
I was like...
it does...
like, props.
As of right now, like... comparing it to special effects right now and makeup effects right now, it's really hard to look at it because we have such good makeup effects and such good special effects.
I was like,
but for the time, it was really good.
And like, Stan Winston just by himself has been nominated for many awards just for special effects.
Yeah.
So, he was the guy you really needed to get for special effects. Of course, he passed away 10 years ago. But... Mm-hmm. Which makes me sad.
But he was really good at his job.
He's got the company and everything. They teach classes, actually. So
that's cool.
It's really cool. I've looked them up. Like, they'll give you, like, special effects, makeup, and all of that. Animatronics, puppetry. Which you do see some puppetry in here, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do. It's awesome. I was like, yes. Puppets.
It's better animatronics than the snake in Harry Potter.
Classic. That's like because Stan Winston was not involved. That's why.
Well, yeah.
Just saying.
But so they're in the police station, and Terminator figures out they're in the police station, and comes after them. And this is where you get the famous line. I'll be back.
I'll be back. And he literally...
Come right back and rams
He runs through the police station.
Like, drives through the front door.
Yeah.
So he gets in
hilarious.
there.
Yeah, he drives and starts shooting up the place.
Yep. And somehow, Sarah and Reese magically escape.
Yeah.
And then they check into a hotel.
Well, they first hide out in, like, this tunnel so that she can fix his arm.
Yeah, that's right. They're hiding out in, like, some park in a tunnel.
Yeah.
My guess is, like, like Central Park, it has the bridges and the tunnels underneath.
Yeah.
It's, like, something like that.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
And John says that Reese says that John gave Sarah a message to give to Sarah, and so he recites it. And I don't remember what the message is, but it was apparently important enough good enough for Sarah to have sex with Reese. So.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, that, and he says that he's in love with her, so.
Well, because there's that one part because there's, like, you see, like, this weird future scene that he has a picture of her.
Yeah. And he also tells her about the picture that...
That's true.
John gave him that picture of her, and he said he didn't know why.
That's true.
So they have checked into the motel.
Yes.
And then they're making pipe bombs, and then they have sex.
Yeah. Was it she calls her mom?
Yeah, she calls her mom.
This is messed up.
And, so you see her on the phone with her mom first, and then they always do that part where you see the other person on the phone. But, like, as it's panning over to the other person on the phone, you see, like, this wrecked house.
Wrecked, tore up, and I'm like, oh, this is not good.
And then you see the Terminator is on the phone, and he's imitating her mom's voice. Well, what we assume is her mom's voice, because we don't see her mom. We don't actually hear her mom.
No.
But
so you just kind of have to assume that he killed her mom and
yeah.
using her voice.
And so he gets the information about
where
the hotel.
At. Yeah.
He gets the phone number. So he calls the hotel and is like, I need the address.
That's true.
And then he goes to the hotel, and there's another big old chase.
Yep.
And they end up in, like, a power plant or some kind of ammunition building plant or something.
Yeah, because they're, like, throwing pipe bombs. They're pipe bombs that they made. They're throwing it at him. And, like, because he's in a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Because he has
and the motorcycle wrecks. And then they're on a bridge. This is before the, like, power plant or whatever thing.
Yeah.
And so they're on a bridge, and the car that Reese and Sarah are in.
It's like a truck. Yeah, because she flipped it.
Yeah.
Because she pushed the motorcycle off to crush it, and then she kind of overcorrected and flipped it.
Yeah. And then this big 18-wheeler runs over Terminator.
I was like, ooh.
It's like, good job.
I was like, did
you just killed yourself?
Did you see some of those effects?
Yeah, it was...
I was like...
It was good.
Nice.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Because I was like, oh, God, that looks real.
So, yeah, it did look like they were actually running somebody over.
I was like...
I mean, I realized it was a dummy dressed in the clothes that he had,
yeah,
but still, it looked like they were running somebody over.
It was really good.
So then he takes the 18-wheeler. He takes over it. The Terminator does. And he runs into the truck that Reese and Sarah were in. They climbed out.
Yeah, and they're getting chased by a semi.
Yeah.
He's a tanker.
Yep.
He's a tanker.
The gas.
This is important.
The gas one.
Yes.
So they're getting chased by it, and then they...
Because he sticks like a pipe bomb into
like the
exhaust or something?
I think it was the exhaust. Or it might have been a different... I don't... Because the exhaust, I think, is lower down, because that was kind of high up next to the tanker.
No, maybe.
And the exhaust was lower down, so I think that might be something... I don't know a lot about tanker trucks, but it might be something they use to get the gas out.
Yeah, I think so.
So he puts the pipe bomb in there, and he jumps in a garbage bin.
Yeah.
Big, huge dumpster. And she keeps running, and then it explodes.
Big explosion, fire, and everything. You're like, okay, he's burning.
I was like, it's over!
Terminator's burning! And I'm like, wait, he's a robot.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, not over. He's a robot.
And then, like, this robot, like, appears.
He's
and
a
it's
pretty good looking robot.
They call it, like, an endoskeleton, kind of. Yeah, and he's like, I'll go on to it later.
Is that the animatronic one? Or is that a puppet?
It is. Do I want to say it now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is a puppet.
Okay. I couldn't really... There was times when it looked like it was animatronic, but then there was other times when it looked like it was a puppet.
So, with some of these puppets, especially the ones that are really tall like that, it looks kind of like... Because they have a big thing on top to help carry the weight.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of like a marionette, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's how it is. I'll explain more about the puppet in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's where the factory, like, weird warehouse thing comes in. So they're hiding down low and getting chased down by this crazy looking.
Yeah, this puppet robot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Dawn of the Dead. Army of Darkness.
Oh, I can see that.
You know those skeleton puppets?
Yes.
It's funny because in that movie you can tell which ones are puppets and which ones are people.
Yes,
but
you can.
That reminds me a lot of the puppets. The Terminator reminded me of those puppets, and I was just like, that's why I couldn't tell if it was a puppet or if it was animatronic. So,
it's a combination, really.
Yeah, because at times it did look really animatronic, but then there was other times I was like, that's a puppet.
Yeah, so. It's a combination of it. Because, like, more intricate puppets have, like, moving parts to them like that, so. But we won't get into the full puppetry thing, because I'll go off.
So they're running around through this thing, but they turned on all the machines so that the Terminator couldn't track them in there. And I was just like, well, I feel like he would be able to sense human life, but, I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. I was like, we give up a little bit different thing there.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was a little silly, but okay.
Yeah.
Just went along with it.
So then Reese, they get found, and Reese puts a pipe bomb, kind of like...
In his
like a rib cage type area.
That's what I was thinking.
Rib stomach area. What would be a stomach if it was a human?
Yeah.
He puts a pipe bomb in there, and it blows up. And at this point, we can't tell, but Reese did die from the blast.
Yeah, he did.
We don't quite know it just yet, but it comes up in just a minute, but he is dead.
Yeah.
And Terminator is still alive.
It's the top half.
Yes.
I mean, this is very determined. It's just
very,
crawling.
Very determined Terminator.
Like, crawling after her, and because she had fell back from the blast, and so, like, what was it, like, her ankle or leg or something was broken?
She had, like, no, it had shrapnel. She had shrapnel in her leg.
Shrapnel.
And then, so she goes over to Reese, and that's when we find out he died.
Yeah.
And then we see Terminator's, like, crawling after her. And then she crawls up in this thing that I'm like, at any point, that is going to fall and squish you, and you're going to be dead.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like, that is just a haunted house mechanism you're dead.
That reminds me of, like horror film stuff.
Yeah, like,
that's
you're
immediately
dead.
what I was thinking of.
Like, I've seen way too many movies with this mechanism in it, and you're dead.
Yes.
But she doesn't die.
No, she gets out, and she, like, there's, like, this...
The control panel.
Yeah, well, after, like, before that.
Oh,
like,
there's a gate, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, that's what it was. And she closes it, and the control panel, she's, like, reaching back, and the metal arms reaching out for her. It's kind of creepy, and then she, like, says this awesome line. And
yeah, we'll get to that, though, because I have that as one of my favorite lines, so we'll get to that one. So she crushes the Terminator.
Yeah, crushed, and
you see his eyes just kind of fade out, because he has the bright red eyes from a robot, and he just kind of fades out.
Yep.
And then, so, she gets taken to the hospital, and you see Reese is getting zipped up in a body bag.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, because he's kind of cool.
Sad.
He's a cool character.
He is. I like him.
Then, you see Cigarros.
Yes, it goes to, no, it says November 10th. And you're like, okay. And then you see her driving, like, this, was it a Jeep Wrangler or something like that?
Yeah, it's a Jeep.
Or Renegade.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's a Wrangler, because the Wranglers are the ones that, like, look like a traditional Jeep.
Okay.
Renegades are more like SUV looking.
Okay.
My dad has a Wrangler.
Okay. I was like, it was a Jeep. I'm just
Yeah.
going to go with the Jeep. Okay. And she's driving this Jeep and she's recording something and she's feeling her stomach because she's pregnant.
Yep. And she has a dog.
She's got a doggy.
To help her detect. Because they said earlier in the film that dogs can tell the difference between people and Terminators. And you also see this little annoying tiny dog barking as the Terminator is going to kill the very first Sarah Connor.
Yeah, that's true.
And at that point, I didn't remember the dog thing, so I was like, oh, it's just barking because it's like my parents' dog, Lexi. It just barks at everything. So that's what I was thinking.
The dogs do that anyways. But.
Some dogs. Not all dogs. My parents' German Shepherd does not bark. Unless she's threatened. She doesn't bark.
There you go.
She's a very quiet dog.
Depends on the breed of dog, I guess.
Yeah. So, yep, that's the end of the movie.
Well,
and we find out that John is Reese's son because it's the only person that we know of she's had sex with.
Recently.
Reese. Yes.
I mean, because she's pregnant, so, you know, that's where you get to find the Polaroid picture.
Yeah, and this little boy takes a picture of her and says, it's going to be $5 or my dad's going to beat me.
In Spanish. I giggled because I knew what he was saying.
I knew what the amount was, but I didn't know what else he was saying.
Yeah. And then she's driving away. We had a comment on this.
Oh, yeah. She's driving away, and... Oh, yeah, I just didn't look up. I had a couple more notes up there. So, she's driving down the road, and there's, like, mountains in the background. And it looks worse. It looks actually not worse. It looks about the same as in The Wizard of Oz when you see the Emerald City in the background.
Yeah, I will admit,
no
offense to, like, the people that did that, but that wasn't very good.
No.
That would be, like, a set design thing.
Actually, I feel that might be film editing. I don't think it would be set design.
It looks like it was painted, but...
It might have been. It
might have been. I don't know.
Painted and then captured on film. But I don't know.
I don't know.
But either way, it was bad.
Yeah, wasn't that great? We're like, oh god, that's like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm like,
the Wizard of Oz was in the 30s.
I was like, that was in 1939. This is in the 1980s. Come on, people, step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So the music was very 80s music.
A lot of synthesizer.
Yeah, lots.
Like a lot of synthesizer.
There's some Ricky Phillips in there. Triangles performed a lot of it. Third Degree. But yeah, it's pretty much just a lot of 80s music.
A lot of 80s, and I felt like, I mentioned this to Kat too, it was like, it reminds me of Tron a little bit, like that same kind of feel to it. And also reminded me a little bit, the music from another 80s movie, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Kind of got that horror vibe to it too. I think, because...
I love Nightmare on Elm Street. I love that movie.
I like it too. I mean, Freddy Krueger. No.
That was one of the only films to actually scare me when I was little.
Really?
Yeah. That and It were the only ones to scare me. Huh. But for some reason I watched that one again, but I won't watch it. I don't know.
No.
It doesn't scare me anymore, but...
Yeah.
Well, It does. Nightmare on Elm Street does not.
There we go. Clarity.
Yes. But yeah, music is very 80s.
It really works
and
well.
there's nothing wrong with that because it's an 80s movie. It's got a very 80s feel to it, and the music fits in really well with everything.
It does. Like, and when it's supposed to be, like, kind of, like, more upbeat and, like chasing, it works really well. When, like, you're trying to, like, be a little more suspenseful, the music kind of goes away.
Yeah.
And then, like, jumps out again, which I liked. Yeah. That's what the Nightmare on Elm Street thing came from.
Yeah. So comparison. Don't really want to do a lot of comparison because we still have Terminator 2 later on the list.
Yeah, which
so
I'm
I feel like we shouldn't even do any comparison on this one because that's going to come in later.
We could compare it to the other one when we get to it.
Or do you... Because Genesis is a lot like this one. I think Genesis is... well, we'll just wait because Terminator 2 is coming up. It's number 42, so we'll be there.
I'm very surprised it's that high, but yeah. That's my personal opinion.
So we'll save the comparison since we do have the second one later on in the list.
Yeah, The third one's not on here at all, right?
No, it's not.
That's a good thing.
Terminator and Terminator 2 are the only ones that are on it.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just save the comparison because I don't want to talk about it now and then talk about it later.
Yeah. Good idea.
So the trivia. What you got?
Okay, so there's a lot of trivia. There was. I had to, like, narrow it down. So when I was talking about the horror thing, the horror film thing, so James Cameron really wanted this actually to be more of, like, a horror film.
Yeah, I can see why.
He did, especially with the music. But then people were, like, realized, they're like, this is more of, like, an action movie, like, action, like, sci-fi. And so he's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I do like that it wasn't a horror movie because we feel like it would have went in the complete wrong direction for this type, for what it is. I do like that it is a sci-fi.
It's more of a sci-fi action film, which I agree with. So Arnold Schwarzenegger worked with, like, guns for, like, over a month straight.
So that's awesome.
Every day, and he became can I talk?
Ambidextrous.
Thank you, ambidextrous, because he's practicing so long with the guns, so he can do, like, things
He can shoot with both.
both hands, which is awesome. And he only has 14 lines.
Yeah.
The entire movie.
He does not talk a lot.
No, but he has some really famous ones.
Yeah, he does.
He does. So the puppet, the puppet, like, just the face part of it took, like, 6 months to make. Because you know that puppet that you kind of, like, the animatronic you saw when he was looking in the mirror and everything? That took forever.
Yeah, I can see that.
And, like, the full body endoskeleton one that they did, it was made out of metal, actually.
Yeah, I could tell that it wasn't wood.
Or, like,
polyurethane.
Thank you. Couldn't think of the word. Yes, that was real metal.
I watch a lot of makeup
It's
shows.
very heavy. It was very heavy. They're like, well, we're not going to do that again because it was too heavy. It's really realistic, but it just wasn't working very well. That's why it kind of was really slow and kind of, you can kind of tell it was puppet with a lot of animatronics thrown in.
Yeah. They did a really good job on it, though.
It did.
Other than it being slow, I think it was great. But I think it being slow actually kind of built up the suspense more in a good way.
Agreed.
Because it's like in horror movies where the villain doesn't run after you, like in Halloween, when he's just walking after you, and you're like, that just makes it even more scary. That means that he's going to catch me no matter what. Like, no matter how fast I run, he's going to catch me.
Exactly. He's going to take his sweet time.
I'm super excited for that movie. Halloween.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Should be good. So, then my last one. Cameron called this guerrilla film making because they would, like, quickly, just to avoid, like, paying, like, permits and all of this stuff, and they filmed at night a lot. They literally went to a location, set up everything really quickly, filmed, and then left before the police caught them.
Oh my god.
They almost got caught one time, but they were good. So,
this
is a really early Cameron film. Can you tell?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I could tell. He did a really good job with it.
This is, like, one of his earliest films.
Yeah. I don't think it's his first one, but it is one of his earliest.
It's a really early film that he's known for.
But I think it's one of his most famous films.
Agreed. Well, besides, Titanic and Avatar.
But see, with Titanic, I just don't picture him as the director, just because of the type of movie that it is. He's known more for movies like Avatar and
action films.
Yeah, he's known
But he
more
went,
for
like,
that.
way off there with Titanic. It's probably why people liked it so much. Like, he's going in a whole different direction.
Yeah. He did a good job with it. I won't take that away from him. I just don't ever picture him as the director.
Yeah, I can see that. So, that's the ones I kind of narrowed it down to. Because there's a lot. So if you want to go look, there's a bunch.
Where it has been on the list before and where it is at today. In 2010, it was number 168. In 2012, it was number 170. In 2014, it was number 213. In 2016, it was number 231. And today, when we are recording, it is number 224. So it went down, but it's kind of staying steady now. Because on our list, it was 229, but today it's 224. So
it went up a little.
Yep. Went down, but then it went back up a little bit. And then The previous number 229 in 2010 was Roman Holiday from 1953. In 2012 was Harvey from 1950. In 2014, Barry Lyndon, which is
coming up
pretty
soon,
within
actually.
the next month, I think.
I think so, yeah.
I think maybe the beginning of November is when it's coming up for us.
I think, yeah.
And then...
Do you
throw up a little bit here? 2016 list was 8.5 from 1963. And then today, when we were recording, La Haine, which was our movie last week from 1995. So yeah, that's...
So La Haine went up a little bit.
Yeah, it did go up a little bit.
Nice.
So, favorite line. What do you got?
I have a couple. I'll let you do one of them, because I know that's one of yours. I'll just do...
Oh, the last one?
Yeah. I'll do two of them. So, I have one from... Actually, they're both from Reese. Amazing,
really?
Yeah. So, my first one says, come with me if you want to live.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty famous line there.
It's a very famous line.
And then the other one, which really struck with me, it struck a chord. Pain can be controlled. Just disconnect.
Oh, yeah, I saw you writing that one down.
Yeah, that one hit kind of home for me.
That's a good one. Well, you took one of mine.
Sorry.
That's fine. I wrote it down because it's a very famous line. Obviously, I'll be back.
Of course.
Then Ginger, when they see the TV report about Sarah Connor dying, she goes, "You're dead, honey." I thought that was funny. And then the very last line, well, not the very last line, but the last line that she says to Terminator is, "You're terminated, fucker."
That's an awesome line.
I love that line.
That's a great line.
So what do we want to do?
I like that one.
The "You're terminated, fucker"?
Yes. That's just an awesome line.
Alright. So what is your rating?
Me?
Yeah.
I give it a 7. Solid 7. I don't know how to describe that 7. I mean, the acting was decent. It wasn't all action-y, which gave it some points. I was like, alright, I can handle this. It's not like Bourne. And I'm not, like, forcing myself to watch this. I actually stayed focused pretty much the entire time without trying. So, it kept me watching.
Yeah. I gave it a 7 as well. I did, at times, have a hard time getting over the makeup. I know it's an 80s movie, and I know that the makeup was
I thought
it was good.
I thought it was good for that time.
But sometimes it was just a little bit too cartoony for me. But,
I can get it.
Some of the acting was not great, but I mean, overall, I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, so yeah, gave it a 7.
Solid 7. Alright.
Alright, so our next film is Touch of Evil from 1958. And it is in black and white.
It is.
And just a reminder, we are doing premium. Our special episode will be coming out probably actually before this, so it'll already be out by the time you guys get this.
Yep.
And it is Frozen.
It's...
If you haven't listened already.
Yeah, because Kat hates Frozen.
I do.
With a passion.
Yeah. So
it's like next month will be different. October's different.
So since this is our first October episode, our October special episode is going to be each of us are going to pick an actor or director from the movies that we have already seen, and we're just going to talk about why we like said actor or director, talk about some of their movies, and it's just going to be a short, probably like maybe 30-minute episode.
Yeah, we're going to have to battle it out between which ones we want, though.
Yeah. It's an internal battle.
Literally. Because there's so many.
There are
so many. We just don't know which ones.
Yeah, so.
We'll work it out.
Yeah. So that'll be the premium episode for October.
Yeah. We have an event in October, too.
Yes, we do have our Halloween event is coming out. It's going to be...
Right on Halloween?
Yep, it'll come out. You'll get 4 episodes for Halloween. It'll be 2 movies from each of us. My 2 movies are The House is October Built, which is... When I first saw it, I thought it was a documentary until the end. But these people go to all kinds of different haunted houses all over the country, and I really love haunted houses, so that movie is just like... It was made for me.
If it's October, too, and Halloween.
It does. It really does. Because literally, haunted houses, October built them. Like,
literally.
if it wasn't for Halloween, we would not have haunted houses.
True.
And October is the month for haunted houses. There's a few that are open year-round, but October is when they come out and they shine and they have their moment in the light. And then my other movie, favorite Halloween movie growing up, favorite Halloween movie of all time, is Hocus Pocus.
Which is showing, like, all month long.
Yes.
On Freeform. Like, almost every day.
And almost every day on my TV.
Yes.
My husband hates it. I go between that, horror movies. I literally watch Hocus Pocus probably 7,000 times a month in October, every month of October. I watch it a lot. And then I also watch Halloween Town a lot. The original. I don't watch any of the other ones. Just
of
Halloween
course, the
Town.
original.
I just watch Halloween Town, and then I watch all kinds of horror movies.
I mean, it's Halloween time.
Like, all of my TV shows get put on hold, and I watch.
Nice.
That's how it works.
Nice.
Except for American Horror Story. American Horror Story doesn't get put on hold in October.
Well, I mean, it just started coming out again, so.
Well, and it's American Horror Story, so it fits
fits
perfectly.
It does. So my 2, of course, is Paranorman, which is a stop-motion film.
Which I have not seen. I've wanted to watch it, I just haven't had the chance.
It's this little kid who sees ghosts and everything, is able to talk to them, which I think is so cute. It's such a good movie. Oh, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's great. And then my other one, this is a classic 1950s film, black and white horror. It's got Vincent Price in it. It's House on Haunted Hill. Very classic horror film.
Those are our 4 October Halloween special episodes. And then our premium episode, those are going to be our October specials. We're going to have 5 special episodes in October. It's a lot.
A lot of listening.
Yeah,
So get your ears ready.
Yep. Alright. If you pay for premium, you will get uncut episodes, early release of the episodes, which they'll come out on Monday instead of Friday. And then also you'll get a special monthly episode. Once every month we'll put something out, and that is at $1 a month. And then for $5 a month, you will get all of those, plus be able to be in your choice of a movie for every 50 movies. As long as, you get there in time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get there in time. But you'll get to join us for up to 5 movies if you pay $5 a month. And, like I said, and then we're still running our contest. 1 person out of every 10 that leaves a positive written review will be randomly selected to join us for a movie of their choice. So get to leaving reviews.
Yes, they help us, so please.
Yes. And where to find us?
So you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Cat and Jess Talk the Best. Our email is catandjesstalkthebest250@gmail, and our website is catandjesstalkthebest.podbean.com.
Yep, and you can find the show pretty much everywhere now. Actually, yeah everywhere.
Pretty much.
iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and also every episode forever will be on Podbean. So if you ever feel like you want to go back and listen to the first one and we're on number 198, you can just
go back and listen.
Back to Podbean and listen. And our opening music is by Audio Binger. So any music we ever have is by him. You can find him Facebook, YouTube, and he has a website, audiobinger.net.
Yeah, check him out. She has a porg.
I do have a porg. He's so cute.